We're going to look at the bonus from the midterm exam. So for the bonus question, it tells you to use the statistical features of your calculator to find the mean and the standard deviation to the nearest tenth of a data set of the miles per gallon from a sample of 5 cars. Okay, so the first thing I did was I went to my calculator, I went to statistics, and I entered in the 5 data points under list 1. Then I'm going to calculate. You can change the list if you hit sets. It already is set for list 1, so I don't have to change anything. If you wanted to change it, you press F1 and then just change the list. So I hit calculate, and I want to do one variable statistics because all I have is one variable. I'm looking at the miles per gallon. And the very first value that they give you, this X bar value, that's your average, that's your mean. So the mean here is 25.12, but since they want it to the nearest tenth, it's only one decimal place, so it's going to be 25.1. Okay. Then they ask for the standard deviation. Both of these values here, the theta of x and the s of x, are both standard deviations, but the one that we want to look at for the Regents exam is the sample standard deviation, so we're looking for the sx value. So that's going to be 1.66, but we're going to round to the nearest 10, so the 6 is going to tell the 6 to round up, so we end up with 1.7, and that's our mean and our standard deviation. The next part of this question tells us to interpret the meaning in the context of the standard deviation. So the mean is the average. That's the average miles per gallon that these cars are getting. For the standard deviation, what that means is the majority of the cars would be within one standard deviation away from the mean. So here our standard deviation would be 1.7 gallons. So the cars would either be 1.7 gallons less than the mean or 1.7 gallons more than the mean. And that's where the majority of the cars' gas mileage would fall. Okay, so interpreting the meaning in the context of standard deviation, roughly 68% of all cars would get between 23.4 and 26.8 miles per gallon. So the 23.4 is 1.7 gallons less than the 25.1, which is the average, and the 26.8 is 1.7 gallons more than the 25.1, which is the mean or the average. And that would get you 4 points extra credit on the exam.